Hello people of the internet, so you probably clicked on this video and then got an instant nostalgia blast, or you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you haven't read the title and clicked on this video for some reason, today I'm going to be talking about an old Stikbot Central series that was really good, that almost nobody talks about. In fact, probably nobody from what I've known. And that series is Dino Planet. Originally announced as the new Stikbot Central series on May 5th of 2018. Jesus, that was such a long time ago. From the trailer, Dino Planet was set to be a calm, chill, but kind of funny, regular, normal Stikbot Central show. It seemed to cater to the more, kiddie side of Stikbot Central rather than something like, off the grid or bot pool or whatever. But it did look decently promising and had a lot of potential to be like a long-running sitcom type of show. So, where did that potential go? Well, decently far actually. The series currently has 12 episodes, which is pretty huge. It was only one season though, sadly, so I guess it didn't take off that much, which kind of shows in the view counts, because everything after the first episode is like a pretty steep decline, which is normal for Stikbot Central shows, but this one didn't really do that well. Like, most of the episodes averaged like around 100k viewers, so it probably got canceled, which I'll get into that later. But let's go over the series, shall we? So, I watched the movie, to do my research for this video, like the Dino Planet full official movie, and that was not a good idea. This does not work as a movie, man. It was really hard to sit through, I'm not gonna lie. This works so much better as like a weekly TV series, get home from a stressful day of school, plop on the couch, watch an episode of Dino Planet, and you'll feel, a bit happier. And a lot of the jokes were cheesy or just generally really funny to where you could like kind of vibe with it. But watching this as a movie, it just feels kind of tryhardy on some jokes, like especially like the kids jokes. There's a whole episode dedicated to like fart jokes. It's even called like classy fart jokes or something. Very interesting marketing there. I wouldn't really say it's tryhardy actually. It's just really hard to sit through where they're sending off so many like hit or miss jokes. It works way better as a series because you can like kind of forgive it when you watch it weekly, vibe with it. But yeah, getting into stuff like the animation, I say, it's pretty good. Nothing top tier, nothing like off the grid or whatever. But, it's pretty good. Like maybe B, C tier Stikbot Central animation. It's animated with dinos, so you can't really do that much like the really small dinos. I'm not sure why they made them small. But, they kind of just pitter-patter there slowly. Spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, click off if you don't want to get spoiled. But there's like some Stikbots that come in later, and the animation, the walking animation for them is really weird. I'm not sure if this is like this for like a lot of Stikbot Central shows, but it just seemed to go kind of really slow and stiff. Not sure what that's about, but it's only for one episode, so I can forgive it. The story, it's like a Saturday morning cartoon sitcom type thing, kind of chill, basically they just go around helping people and stuff. Solving mysteries, quote unquote, just hanging out, walking around, and then they'll encounter like a strange person that'll try and fight them or just annoy them, and then they'll have to get their way out of the situation. Pretty entertaining for the most part, can't really complain there. They start to bring in some lore in the last episode that it never happens, like it never pans out because the show got canceled. Moving on to let's go with set pieces, shall we? Because show's pretty heavy on the backgrounds and stuff. Backgrounds look pretty nice. Problem is, they repeat them in literally every episode. Which isn't a problem, consistency. They live in the same place, gotta keep it like that. But it does get kind of boring after a while. I won't rank the show off of the set pieces, but that's just something that I thought I'd comment on. The jokes are really witty and funny, like the humor is good and clever. So, how they write the humor, it's really good. It's like kind of deadpan style. Sometimes they do like they had an episode dedicated to fart jokes or something, I don't know, but that one was not very good because it kind of strayed away from the humor of the show, but they still made it kind of work with, Spike having his remarks and stuff. Story and writing, not really the same thing, but, the writing is pretty good. Let's say, like, maybe 8 out of 10 on the writing, 7.5. So yeah, I think they handle everything pretty well for the most part, besides, like, the fact that the show's pretty simplistic. It just brings back good times, good memories, except for the fart jokes part. But, yeah, I really like this show. It's so casual and fun. I hope they don't throw in any freaking lore to, like, make people interested and hook up viewership in the final episode. Oh god, of course they did. Well, okay, let's get into episode 12, shall we? Don't get me wrong, I really like episode 12, but it just stares, like, so far into, like, how the series, came up as. It was trying to be like story-based, that thing where in like modern cartoons, it'll go like kind of chill, and then it gets really story-based like in the second season or whatever. But they did that here. They tried to pull up like a bunch of lore out of nowhere in the final act. Yeah, they introduced like time travel and like bots from the future. The jokes in that episode were pretty top tier though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot of that stuff had me cracking up. But yeah, the lore gets crazy in the final episode, and then there's like a huge villain reveal, kind of. It ties into Look Animals too, which is really interesting, and you know, that never panned out for either of the shows because they both never got season 2s. I think the guy was in Tales of the Strange also. I'll probably make a video on that. Action, you know, nothing too serious. It's a comedy show. Can't really judge it off of that, but you know, pretty decent. The characters are pretty good. I mainly like Spike and Trevor. Spike has a really funny like 1930s like detective accent, and Trevor is British, so that's funny. Cannon is basically like he was like acting really dumb, basically, you know, the dumb character voice, like me stupid, me big brain. I don't know. They had a T-Rex guy that they fight like throughout a couple of episodes. He was pretty cool. Cool, you know, voice. That's another thing. I like the voice acting for everybody. The voice acting is pretty good. Not top notch or anything, but you know, the usual. Sometime next year though, because I already have a lot of videos planned for the rest of the year. Dang, only like a couple weeks left. That's kind of insane. But yeah, they built up this really freaking cool lore and like time travel and stuff, and then it just goes nowhere. The show ends. It doesn't ruin like the show or whatever, but it kind of just leaves you with like, oh, wait, what? That was it? Like, you get really interested and the interest just falls off because the show's over. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but overall, I really like Dino Planet. I used to think like it was the most underrated Stikbot show of all time, and to some degree, I still kind of do, because the show is totally slept on and the humor is really good. There's like better interpretations of Dino Planet, like misadventures and stuff. Like, I used to think, man, I have really good memories with this. This show's really underrated. I used to think it was like my favorite Stikbot show for a bit, but now looking back on it, it was kind of not. I can understand why a lot of people do not remember this show, honestly. It's pretty bland and forgettable compared to a lot of other Stikbot shows especially, but I still think it stands out on its own, you know? Besides being animated with Stikbot dinos, which a lot of stuff really isn't because of how terrible they are. But yeah, while the show isn't really as good as I remember, I still really do like it, and I quite enjoy it. This show is better than a lot of what FizzBuzz has to offer, or what they did offer back in like 2020 to like the beginning of 2021. Because I'd say some of the stuff from like the later half of this year might actually rival Dino Planet. But yeah, I'd say, you know, this show is probably the last genuinely great Stikbot show. I wouldn't say it's great, but like, you know, and just man, life is good. Because now with modern Stikbot Central, you just kind of question like what you've been doing with your life for the past 5 years. But this just takes me back to like the good old days, you know? I'm pretty sure this is also one of the last shows that Animation Eddie or whoever animated this did, because, you know, it gives out that type of style, you know, the misadventures type of humor. But yeah, probably the last genuinely good Stikbot show, like from the golden era, which is like, you know, 2016, 17 to like late 2018, mid 2018. Overall, I enjoyed Dino Planet. I recommend that you give it a watch if you're into like chill comedy type shows. Bit of dodgy jokes, but you know, overall, I think it's genuinely worth watching. I encourage you to go watch it and form your own opinion, and maybe you can have a talk in the comments. And if you remember watching this show back when it was originally airing, then I encourage you to, you know, drop a comment. Tell me what you thought about it and what you think of it now. But yeah, thank you for watching. Dang, I'm just thinking of how weird it is to end off a YouTube video with a thank you instead of actually shilling for subscribers and views and stuff. I have no idea how to end this video. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Make sure to leave a like and